Today our topic of discussion is vitamin A. So vitamin A basically is a fat soluble vitamin. We know that there are two types of vitamins. One is a fat soluble, one is a water soluble vitamin. Fat soluble vitamins are the vitamins which basically requires bile and bile salts for the absorption to take place in the intestine. Whereas the water soluble vitamins are the vitamins which can be easily be reabsorbed, and it can also be easily be excreted out of the body because they are water soluble. The fat soluble vitamins are basically vitamin A, D, E, K, whereas the water soluble vitamins are vitamin B and vitamin C. So today our topic of discussion is vitamin A. Vitamin A is basically present in the animals as, which is the functional form, is basically retinol, retinal or retinoic acid. These three are the functional forms which are present in the case of animals. But in the plant products or in the plants, the retinol is present as a provitamin, which is beta carotene. Beta carotene is a form which is present in various yellow and orange vegetables like pumpkins and mango, which are having high content of vitamin A. So this beta carotene is a provitamin, which we have already told. Now this beta carotene is, if we take it, we are interested to know how this beta carotene will be getting converted to retinol, or the functional form of vitamin A. So now we will be dealing with the metabolism part of vitamins. So when we take in beta carotene, it will move to the intestine. Beta carotene will be first acted upon by an enzyme called dioxygenase, and this will lead to the formation of a product called retinal. Retinal further will be acted upon by an enzyme called retinal reductase to form retinol. So beta carotene acted upon by dioxygenase will form retinal. Retinal on reduction with retinal reductase form retinol. So this entire reaction is going to take place in the intestinal mucosa. This is taking place in the intestinal mucosa. Now this is the beta carotene which has entered. Retinol, when it comes to the intestine, basically it is in a conjugated state with fatty acid molecule, and when it reaches the intestine, it is basically retinol fatty acid ester. So it is in a form retinol fatty acid. They are conjugated. So they are first acted upon by an enzyme called pancreatic lipase to form retinol plus fatty acid. This retinol which has been formed and this retinol which has been formed, both will be incorporated into cyclomicron. Both this, the retinol which is derived by both this pathway, will be loaded into cyclomicron and move through the lacteals to ultimately reach the hepatocytes. In the hepatocytes, before that, this retinol, before moving on to the cyclomicron through the with the help of cyclomicron through the lacteals to the hepatocyte, retinol is again re-esterified. One thing we have to keep in mind, that retinol is re-esterified several times. So the retinol undergoes esterification several number of times. So this, after entering the after getting conjugated with cyclomicron, enters the lacteals and will move towards the hepatocytes. In the hepatocytes, we have aporetinol binding protein. We have got aporetinol binding protein, which on reaction with retinol which on reaction with retinol will form what is known as the hollow retinol binding protein. This hollow retinol binding protein will act upon the various receptors or the various receptors which are present in the various organs of our body, which may be the gonads, which may be the heart, where there are receptors for vitamin A, and there it will act, this hollow retinol binding protein will act, and therefore it will stimulate the HRE or the hormone receptor elements and stimulate the gene synthesis, stimulate the DNA. So this is the entire process of basically the vitamin biosynthesis, vitamin metabolism part. So one more thing which is important is that the storage form inside our body, which is stored in the liver, is in the form of retinol palmitate. So this is also basically a fatty acid bound or esterified form. The retinol palmitate is a form which is the storage form which is present in the case of which is present in the liver. So this is what we have for the basic metabolism. Thus we have discussed the sources, we have discussed what is vitamin A. Now our next topic of discussion is going to be the various functions of vitamin A. So as we already know by now that vitamin A basically is very important for treatment of night blindness, because we are in the eyes, there are cells in the retina called the cone and the rods. The rod cells consist of a protein called rhodopsin. This rhodopsin is basically nothing but 11 cis retinal plus opsin. So this 11 cis retinal is what is derived from vitamin A. So rhodopsin is 11 cis retinal plus opsin. So this rhodopsin basically will help in the night vision or vision in the dark, or it can be called scotopic vision. Moreover, so it helps in scotopic vision. So if a person is suffering from vitamin A deficiency, there will be a delay in scotopic vision, because suppose when we enter a cinema hall or a movie theater, after coming in from a bright light, the body requires, or the eye requires, a certain amount of time for the rhodopsin to be resynthesized. So this time, which is called the dark adaptation time, is basically increased if a person is suffering from vitamin A deficiency. Secondly, it can also lead to a condition called color blindness, because it has been shown that basically the color is basically due to conopsin, which is also a protein molecule or an enzyme molecule which is present in the cone cells of the retina. This conopsin also consists of retinol. So it also leads to color blindness, which may be green, red or blue. It can also cause hyperkeratinization of various mucosa. Hyperkeratinization may also be produced. It may also lead to the hyperkeratinization, because the vitamin A ester form is required for the maintenance of the normal mucosa or the soft structure of the mucosa. If vitamin A is deficient, or if there is anyhow fatty acid deficiency, that may be due to stearia, it may be bile duct blockage due to gallbladder diseases, and several other diseases like cirrhosis of liver, then when the bile duct is getting obstructed, then this fatty acid is depleted, or the bile salt is depleted, and therefore there will be hyperkeratinization or hardening of the mucous membrane, which will be leading to hyperkeratinization. Then it will also this vitamin A is required for various glycoprotein synthesis. The vitamin A is required for glycoprotein synthesis. Vitamin A has also shown that vitamin A basically also has got a property to having an anti-abortive effect. So vitamin A, if given in pregnancy, provides a support or it has an anti-abortive effect. So this is what we have for the some of the very important functions of vitamin A, and it also has some property as an it also plays certain property in having some antioxidant property as well. The carotenoids and having some antioxidant property. The carotenoids basically is a form of vitamin A which is having some anti-cancer property. So these are some of the very important functions of vitamin A. Now coming to the very important part, which is the von Willebrand or the visual part, or rather the visual cycle. So here, as we have already discussed, the rhodopsin is a form which is basically important for scotopic vision. So this consists of 11 cis retinal plus opsin. So a single beam of light is just enough to break this rhodopsin into 11 cis retinal and opsin, and ultimately all 11 cis retinal will be transferred into all trans retinal. Only a single beam or a single photon of light is sufficient to convert this rhodopsin. First will be converted into bethorodopsin, then it will be converted to bethorodopsin, then it will be converted to lumirhodopsin, then it will be converted to metarodopsin 1, then to metarodopsin 2, and then it will form 11 trans retinal plus opsin. So this is the reaction which takes place when a single beam of single beam of light or a single photon of light falls on the retina, and the rhodopsin molecule is broken down immediately. This breaking down is basically a G protein, occurs through G protein coupled pathway. So this is what we have for the breakdown to all trans retinal. Now this all trans retinal which has been formed, first it may first initially in the retina itself may undergo isomerase reaction to form the 11 cis retinal. This is formed in the retina. Or alternatively what may happen is that all trans retinal may enter the bloodstream and come down to the liver, where all trans retinal is first acted upon by alcohol dehydrogenase to form all cis retinal. All trans retinol is then acted upon by all trans retinol with the help of enzyme retinol alcohol dehydrogenase. all trans retinol will then be acted upon by isomerase to form all cis retinol. All cis retinol is again acted upon by alcohol dehydrogenase to form 11 cis retinal, which is then coming back to the retina. So basically there are two pathways which are occurring. One is that all trans retinol is immediately getting converted to 11 cis retinal with the help of isomerase in the retina, or it may can follow an alternate pathway where it comes down to the liver and then it is first acted upon by alcohol dehydrogenase to form all trans retinol, then it is acted upon by isomerase to form all cis retinol, and then ultimately acted upon by alcohol dehydrogenase to form 11 cis retinal, which ultimately again enters the retina. So this entire process is the von visual pathway. So this is a very important part, which is a very important aspect of vitamin A. So this is basically the breakdown and the resynthesis of 11 cis retinal and the rhodopsin molecule. Now, coming to the what are the symptoms of vitamin A deficiency? As already discussed, that the symptoms of vitamin A deficiency will lead to xerophthalmia. Xerophthalmia is a condition where the cornea is becoming dry, and it can ultimately lead to various other conditions like kernicterus and some other diseases related to the eye. It is a very important vitamin for the night blindness because it is associated with the sclerotopic vision. So in vitamin A deficiency may lead to night blindness. Similarly, it also interferes with the color vision, and so vitamin A deficiency leads to several diseases. The normal serum concentration of vitamin A is basically in the range of 15 to 20 microgram per dl, which is one of the very important thing. And the normal daily requirement for a child is about 1000 to 1200 IU per day. For a man, it is about 2500 to 3000 IU per day. For a woman, it is about 2000 to 2500 IU per day, and for a pregnant or a lactating woman, it is about 2500 to 3000 IU per day. As we have already discussed, that vitamin A has got some anti-abortive effect. Hypervitaminosis of vitamin A is very, very risky because vitamin A hypervitaminosis may lead to rise in the intracranial pressure, which may give symptoms very similar to brain tumors. So vitamin A hypervitaminosis is very, very dangerous. It may give symptoms such as similar to brain tumor, and it can also lead to nausea, vomiting, and several other conditions. So this is what we have for basically vitamin A, and hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.